Guys, welcome back. It's the next day. It's actually the afternoon. I spent the day at my buddy's shop. I got another job from him to do. This is the same guy that I did that bar that I built, and then I did those shelves for the bar. I do all those old Impalas for him. Spent most of the day today at his shop with one of his guys, and we took all this rough sawn oak. We cut it down. We cut a bunch of it down, not all of it, but we cut a bunch of it down, ran it through his planer, and got it ready for this job. And there's a bunch of steel here too, so I'll explain. You guys, let me know in the comment if this is something you guys would like me to make some videos on. I've got about 16 days to get this done. So I have to have these walls built in the next 16 days, stained and clear coated, and brought to a shop, or he'll come and pick them up, whichever will do, depending on the weather, because they're 11-foot tall walls. My van will only fit. He's probably gonna have to come with his trailer and pick them up. But so these are the blueprints for it. So all these little lines here are spindles. Okay, so these are 5-foot spindles, all in the middle here, and these spindles here are 2 foot 9 inches on the top and bottom. Now we're worried about these 5-foot spindles because they're only a 1/2 inch wide and 1 inch deep, and I have to cut those still on my table saw. But we're worried about them twisting because they're 5 feet long. You know, from the humidity and moisture down in Florida, are these things going to want to twist on us? So I brought that 1/2 inch flat bar from his shop, and I figure what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that 1/2 inch metal bar on the back of each of these longer ones. Not worried about the short ones, but the long ones, I'm going to put it on the back side and countersink screws in. So I'm going to screw the metal down the whole 5-foot piece all the way down, all 30, what was there's 34 of them, 34 5-foot spindles. So that hopefully will keep the wood from wanting to twist. We cut a bunch of this outer pieces of wood today. I need to stick 2 1-inch pieces together, so it's 2 inches deep. So what I need to do is I need to glue them. I'm not going to clamp them. I'm going to use screws on the backside because you'll never see the backside of this. So you're going to be able to see through all these spindles. There's going to be LED lighting on the backside, and the LED lighting is going to light up the wall behind it. They did a stone wall behind this, so the stone wall is going to show through from the back lighting through these walls. So it's 4 walls I'm building. I have this long wall here, and then this return wall goes down that side. And then there is a shorter wall here and another return wall that goes down this side. So I need, these return walls need to be, I need to use dowel pins, but I cannot attach them. I need to just glue the dowel pins on one side, and then the wall is going to slide into the other wall once they get it down to Florida to assemble it in the place. But these are just under 11 foot tall. My ceilings in the shop are only 10 foot 6. So everything's got to be made laying down. It's going to have to stay laying down. Now, the only problem I'm seeing is like this one right here. This is almost 12 feet long, wide. So that's going to take up a big chunk of my shop, my front area. This is another reason why I need to get that back building done, because I keep getting big jobs like this, and I don't really have enough room to do them. I'll make it work, but I just need to get a big enough area to lay this down to put it together. I'll figure out something. But if you guys are interested in seeing this type of project, let me know. I made a short video on it. I was planning on making some videos. I don't know. It all depends on if, you know, you guys give me a thumbs up, leave a message, let me know. But anyways, we're going to get back onto this car because it's now 7 o'clock at night. And I haven't got anything done on it today because I've been at his shop all day. What I want to do is take my 9-inch block, 12-inch block. I have the wrong sandpaper on here. I got to change the sandpaper. I accidentally put 80 grit on here. I need to put 180 grit on here, and I want to block sand down the primer between the 2 doors. And then the other side is going to be a small block. So I want to hit this with 180 first, and then we're going to go over it with 320. And I want to completely sand the back door and the front fender and take off the pinstriping and stuff, because I want to get this car into the spray booth tonight so that I can get it prepped and sprayed tomorrow. The jams are done, so obviously we need to tape it off. I'm waiting one extra day because I don't want to put new tape on fresh clear. because you could run into an issue. This has been sitting outside all day. Actually, it's been sitting outside ever since I sprayed it yesterday. It's been outside for days, really. But anyways, it should be pretty darn dry by now. When I put it in the booth tonight, I'm actually going to open the passenger front door and the driver rear door and just kind of let it air out overnight. So that tomorrow, I'm going to wait until the afternoon. I have to do some other stuff in the morning, and then I'm going to get this sanded down or sprayed and or painted, and then we can get it put together and get it out of here. So let me switch this to 180, and I'll show you how I'm going to block this down. I'm not going to use guide code or anything. I'll show you. You'll be able to see lows and highs. Also, I need to get these door jambs painted this weekend on this dually. I need to get this truck finished and out of here, because once this leaves, I have 2 cars back there I'm moving up here. I think it's a 71 or 72 Mach 1 Mustang convertible. I need to finish putting that together, and then I need to do repair to the paint. That car's been sitting around for over 10 years since I've painted it. And it's actually been sitting out back underneath tarps for years. He brought it back to me because he wanted me to put it together, and then COVID hit. He's a contractor. He got slow, didn't want to put any money in the car. I get it. So it's been sitting for a while. So there's some paint imperfections that need to be touched up and fixed just from it being at his house, being here, but whatever. I need to get the car together, running and driving, do the paint touch-ups on it and get it out of here. And also, I have a 59 hardtop back there that is also coming up here at the same time. I'm gonna put it in the spray booth and kind of roll it in and out as I'm working on it. I need to do the body work to the shell. All the panels are already in their first paint job. It's getting painted twice. It's getting single stage gray first, and then I'm gonna block it all down, and then it's gonna get painted the right color after that. I did that because the car's been sitting a while. I didn't wanna leave a bunch of primered parts in primer for years, because what happens is rust forms underneath the primer, and then you need to reprimer it because they're not in epoxy primer. So I bought some single stage urethane and just sprayed all the loose parts with the single stage urethane just to seal them up real good. And then I knew when it came time, painting stuff twice always turns out better anyways, so it's not doing anything but making it gonna turn out a little bit better. So the 59 hardtop's gonna be in the booth, just the shell for now, and then the Mustang will be over here, and then this will be gone, and that's gonna free up my space over there to move everything over to one half of the shop so that I can get the concrete poured on the first half. I need to run some pipes still, and then we can get the concrete in the first half done, and then I need to literally build that shop out, the first half of it. I need to insulate it, build walls, put all everything I'm putting on the walls. I got to put the ceiling in, lighting, tire machine, wheel balancer, sandblasting cabinet, everything. I need to kind of try to get all that done in the next 60 days after the concrete's poured at the most. I'd like to do it in a month, but I have so many other jobs going on. I don't think I can get it done in a month. 2 months probably is more realistic, but it needs to get done before winter. I need the space so that I can keep going with these cars. I have other vehicles that are gonna be coming, quite a few of them actually, so I need those other bays, because once I pour half of that building over there, I'll be able to put all my equipment and put 2 to 3 cars comfortably over there. I could put 2 cars extremely comfortable over there and have tables all set up with parts for assembly. So my goal is to do the paint and body work in this front part here. Once it's painted, it's going into the back area, and that's where it's gonna get assembled. So then what it does is it frees up more time for me to, if I'm waiting for body work or primer or something to dry, I have another vehicle sitting over there I could be assembling. So I can kind of go back and forth. Right now, I have to do a vehicle until I'm done with it and then put it together over here. And I can't do anything else while that vehicle is being put together in here because I just don't have the room. So that's gonna be a huge help back there. It's costing a fortune to do it because everything is so damn expensive now. So I'm basically literally work 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, at least 12, 14-hour days. But that's all I can do. That's the only way I know how to do it without racking up a bunch of credit card and debt. So we'll get it done. This is what you have to do when you're self-employed, is you have to bust your butt. If you want to make it in life being self-employed, there's no other choices. If you want to succeed and move forward and keep growing, this is what you got to do. and I work alone, so it makes it a little bit harder. But at the same time, I've had employees in the past, and it's stressful. You have another person that you have to worry about. You have to make sure you always have work for them. You got to make sure you pay them every week. You know, are they going to show up for work? And nowadays, with the way people act, I don't want any employees. I'd rather just work 12, 14-hour days. So let's go out here. I don't have my mask on right now. I'm just going to show you, and then I'll throw my mask on. We're going to take our 180. We're just going to lightly lock this down. Now, I put 3 coats of primer on here, so we have plenty of primer to work with. And sanding outside like this in the summertime, it's really not dusty. But if you look right here, you can see that's a low spot still. You see how the difference in color is? That's a low spot right there. So let me keep sanding for a couple minutes and I'll show you what it looks like. This is without guide coat. I just talked to the camera with it off, I think. So the low spot's done. I don't know if I got this or not. I didn't go back and look. But anyways, the low spot's gone. I blocked it out. And I'm gonna go ahead and block this off camera. Come back with 320 on the foam pad, DA, and we'll knock down the rest of the panels. Okay, the 180 grit is done. I'm gonna take the pinstriping off now. I'm gonna show you with the heat gun and some lacquer thinner. If you're wondering why would I use such a rough grit to start sanding with, the reason why I use 180 grit is it knocks the primer flat really quickly. 320 has a tendency to want to ride over the surface. 180 cuts straight through. So you cut it straight through with 180, come back with 320, sand out all your 180 marks, and you'll be good to go. So I'm gonna take my heat gun here, and we're gonna try to get this pinstriping off, which hopefully comes off somewhat easy. We'll start in the back here. So usually if you heat it up, you can get it off, but it's gonna leave a sticky residue. They do make a wheel to get this stuff off too. I don't think I have one anymore. You have to look. I don't do a lot of this anymore, so let me grab some lacquer thinner. I just want to see if that glue residue is going to come off. Now you can use lacquer thinner on your paint as long as you're careful with it. Don't saturate it, but it does come off. So I'm gonna sit here and peel this off. I'm gonna go look and see if I still have one of those wheels, but I don't think I do. No, I don't. So I guess I'm gonna sit here with the heat gun and work until I get it off. The reason why I'm taking it off the whole passenger side is because if the new pinstriping comes and it's a little bit off in color, which chances are it's gonna be because this is sun faded, that I'm just gonna re-pinstripe the whole entire side. So it all matches going around the whole side. Okay guys, I got the weather stripping, the pinstriping off the quarter panel and the rear door. I'm going to show you. I'm having to do it kind of the old-fashioned way, and it's very scary. Don't attempt it if you've never done it before. Unless you plan on repainting, then it doesn't matter. But I'm taking it off with a razor blade, and then I'm coming back and scrubbing the glue off with lacquer thinner. It's really the only way. The heat's not working. It's so brittle and old that it's just flaking apart. So you got to get the right angle, take your time, and once you get it underneath there at the right angle, you just got to roll with it. Don't change your angle of your blade or you'll dig into the paint. Okay, that's off. Let me grab some lacquer thinner and show you how I finish it off here. Okay. We're going to take a decent amount of lacquer thinner on a rag here. Okay, we need to saturate this glue a little bit. Take your fingernail and start scrubbing the glue off. It'll come off fairly easy with your fingernail as long as you have it saturated with some lacquer thinner. And then you got to scrub the glue off. This is how you do it if you don't have a wheel, and if the hot glue or the heat gun's not working for you. We're clearing the whole fender, so we want to take this off anyways, because you don't really want to clear over the pinstriping, because if you ever do have an issue, then you can't get it off your car. But I did not damage the clear coat at all with the razor blade. Now the problem with sanding the glue residue off is you will burn through your paint job, because you'll sit on it for too long trying to get the glue off and you'll go right through. So you don't want to use sandpaper. So as you can see, that wasn't too bad at all. So that's all off now. So if the pinstriping comes and it's really off in color, I will change the pinstriping on the other side. I'm going to clear up to the bottom of the pinstriping on the other side, but I'm not going to go over the pinstriping, so that if I need to replace the pinstriping, I will be able to replace the pinstriping on the other side. So now that I've got that done, I'm going to get some 320 on my DA sander with the foam pad, and I'll show you how I'm going to hit it with that. When he's on here, I have my foam pad. So now we're just going to lightly hit this at a low speed. Now I need to pull this handle and this molding off the back door. The hockey puck L-shape one, or the hockey stick one, I'm not going to be able to peel off or pull off, so I'm going to have to just tape that part off, but the long strip I can take off, and the door handle. And then I'm going to sand this door down with the same piece of 320. Now, if you're wondering why didn't I start on the front fender with the fresh piece of 320, I want to hit these two doors first so that I wear this 320 down a little bit, so that when I go to the fender and the quarter panel, well, actually we're not going to the quarter panel, that's right. When I go to the fender, This is worn down a little bit, so it'll be less aggressive and it'll take less material off. I don't know how much clears on the car or anything like that, so you got to be really careful with it. So I just want to hit it lightly with this and then a Scotch-Brite pad. So let me grab an 8mm socket. Let's see if this rear door handle comes off easy like the front one does. Okay, we should be able to take this plug out right here. Should be an 8mm bolt. Throw the plug in the back seat on the floor. Here's our, it's a 7. I keep saying 8 and it's a 7. All right, get our 7mm socket here. You can use a Torx bit as well. And now I gotta take the rear door panel out because I dropped the screw. I'll deal with that tomorrow. Okay, our rear door handle's off. I wonder if I could take this off. That just saves a little bit of, at least we can get underneath the molding pretty much except for this edge right here. Now another trick I do is I'll take the latch of the door and I'll flip it. By flipping that one click on that latch, now the door is not going to shut all the way. So now when I DA sand, I don't hit the quarter panel with the sander because the door is out away from the quarter panel. Okay, here's some proof that the car's been in an accident and painted. Right here. All the plastic for the door handle, it's all painted. All painted. So this has been painted. I'm sure the quarter panel's been painted. I see evidence of some wrinkling in the pillar of the roof here and on the other side. So if I were to guess, I'd say this car was rear-ended and never fixed completely properly because of these marks on each side. Is it going to affect anything? No. It's probably just fine. I don't think there's, all the door gaps and everything are lining up good, but they should have fixed that on both sides, but they didn't. That would be my guess. If it was only on one side, I would probably think a little different, but since it's on both sides, I'm going to say that it was probably hitting the rear end. So I'm going to go ahead and get this sanded down and then the fender, then come back and I'm going to Scotch-Brite everything down, and then I'll come back and we'll get it cleaned off and everything and get it in the spray booth. I sanded the car so much it's gone. Through video magic, guys, it transported itself into the booth. All right, so now I'm going to start taping this off. Reason why I want to get this taped off tonight is I want to be able to get on this tomorrow when I get back from doing my stuff I got to do tomorrow. I did Scotch-Brite the mirror piece down, so I got to make sure I put that in there and hang that up so we can shoot that tomorrow. It's right here. I just Scotch-Brited this real good, and this is the bumper cover that I fixed yesterday. Turned out really, really nice, so I am happy with that. No wet sanding, no buffing. So I'll come back in a little bit and show you a couple things that I'm going to do with the tape on a couple of these spots. I always shut the spray booth doors when I'm taping the car off, because especially in the summertime, you get bugs in here and then they're in the booth for the next couple days, and I don't want to have bugs in here tomorrow while I'm painting. I have the car back towards the back because I'm gonna do all my work right here, and I'm gonna walk around the front of the vehicle to that side. So I wanna make sure that I have plenty of room up here because I'm gonna hang the mirror on one of these wires up here. All right, I'll be back. Okay, let me show you how I'm gonna treat this door jamb. So what I'm gonna do is, since this was painted yesterday, I was gonna wait until tomorrow, but it feels dry. So I'm gonna take my tape here and I'm gonna put half of it in the door jamb and I'm gonna let the other half hang over the quarter panel. Just like that. And then I'm gonna take tape on the door itself. So I'm gonna take tape on the back side of the door here, right up onto the, well actually no, this is getting covered over. So yeah, I'm gonna go like this. Okay, then I'm going to carefully take this tape and roll this in. So all I'm doing is rolling this edge over. Just inside the car jamb. So take a look at this. Just inside the jamb there. Then I'm going to shut the door. Make sure I don't have any tape touching. And I do right here. This stupid tape went over. Well, now I gotta redo it. But let me redo that real quick. All right, let's go for round two. Doesn't always work out the first time, but you see how well it tapes the door shut. That's what we want. We want to create a seal that's going to keep our overspray from getting on our freshly painted door jamb. So hopefully this time I can do it. Okay, that's better. I can deal with that. Roll this over now. Just going to take this tape and kind of pull it back away from the edge. But if you look in here, man, I keep thinking I turned off my camera by accident. So you can see how this rolled in there nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep taping this area off. Okay, yesterday when I was painting the dually bumper, I had mentioned that I wanted to make the base coat a little bit thicker so that there was a little bit less reducer so that it didn't react, so that the reducer wasn't overpowering and wrinkle the paint up underneath again. And then I said if I mixed it too unreduced that the paint could actually get grainy. And I'm going to show you a perfect example of what I was talking about yesterday if I can get a good view of it. If you look at this front bumper cover, there's orange peel. Okay, right there. If you look at that paint, that's all grains in the paint. Okay, that's like really bad orange peeled paint. The reason why that's really bad orange peeled paint is that is more than likely paint that was under reduced and it's thick. And it does that. It gives that weird grain illusion. And then you clear over it and you can't get rid of it. And it just looks odd. And standing a couple feet away, you would never see it. But when you're right up on it, you'll see it. But that's what I was talking about yesterday with under reducing paint. if it's a real thick product, you can run into that. I'm not pulling the headlight. I'm not too worried about it because I'm not pulling the bumper cover or anything. We're just taping up to it. Okay guys, it's all taped off, ready for tomorrow. A little bit after 9 o'clock at night, I am done. Normally, I would just say screw it and paint it tonight, but I don't want to have any problems. If I run into a problem, I'd rather just deal with it tomorrow when it's earlier. The mirror cover's hung up over here. This side's all taped and prepped. So tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a little bit of epoxy primer, and I'm going to go from here to here with the epoxy primer. Now, I broke through a couple spots to the body filler, and that's why I'm going to put epoxy primer down. If I didn't have these breakthroughs, I wouldn't have to put the epoxy primer down. But anyways, I'm going to go to the edge here with the epoxy primer. Then I'm going to take inner coat clear, go from this edge and wet it out the rest of the way. And what that's going to do is give my clear something to stick to, and also it's going to make this surface all the same, because if I just stop my epoxy primer here and don't put anything past it, I can run into getting sanding marks underneath my blend that will show, and it's just not going to look right. So the inner coat clear is going to take over and go the rest of the way, so it's all the same slick surface. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you come back tomorrow night because we're painting this thing, and after that it might need a light wet sanding and buffing. We'll see how it turns out. Maybe not. See how clean we get it. I might actually just wipe it down real quick tonight once, just to kind of initially knock off some of the dirt and then just let it set overnight. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you guys haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you guys anything. It just lets you know when more videos are coming out. Any other questions or comments, feel free to ask. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow evening. Thanks for watching.